Okay, what's going on? Vincent Rapsardi, Big Blue Unbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate you guys. I'm back doing another video, second straight day. I do think this is an important time in Giants football to talk about the current state of the New York Giants because, as I stated in my previous video, we've all watched this team over the past few years, and some have been more patient than others. Others have said Gettleman's terrible, needs to be fired, and some have said it's a rebuild. Let's see where this thing goes. They're at a point right now where there's no more excuses. There's no more, oh, it's a rebuild. Oh, this and that. No. And Mike Clay, who works for ESPN, actually recently, today, he put out a strength of schedule. And it was based on his analysis, so I don't know how much really went into it. It could just be his personal opinion. He had the Giants ranked as the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. They have the hardest remaining schedule of any NFL team going forward. And by the way, the Bears, I think, are 27th on the list. The Giants have the Bears' first-round pick, and the Bears look terrible. That's a team that, without question, is going to be a top 5 team. They're going to be picking in the top 5. The Giants will be picking in the top 5 with that pick. So at least that's some good news. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're looking at the Giants having 2 top 5 picks. As I stated yesterday, and I don't think it was an overreaction video where I was just saying, oh, they're terrible, and then, you kind of back away and you say, yeah, well, this and no. I still stand by exactly what I said yesterday, as many of you, I'm sure, do as well. This team just is not good enough. It's not good enough, and Joe Judge came out today and said they're not going to make any change at offensive coordinator, so you're going to see Jason Garrett at least another week. We'll see how that continues to go. But it's just kind of a lifeless team. It doesn't really feel like a team. And somebody commented, there's a pretty cool comment in the last video of someone who was from Pittsburgh and grew up a Giants fan and agreed that, 10, 15 years ago, there was just a certain culture, aura around the Giants. It was a team football kind of thing. There was just this aura around the team. And it wasn't just because they won championships. Even before they won championships, there was something about it, about the team and the organization. It really felt like a team. And there were real leaders, and there were the Strahans and the Antonio Pierces, and even the Antrel Rolls and the Justin Tucks and all these other players where there was a sense of Giants pride. And you see even some look at even the former Giants that are on social media right now. Lawrence Tynes. Lawrence Tynes is absolutely, he still follows the Giants like any passionate fan would, which is pretty incredible to see, a former player of a team be as passionate and emotional as he is on social media about the Giants. You see the same thing with Eli. Eli loves the Giants. You saw it a little bit with Weatherford. I don't really know where Steve Weatherford has been I'm being honest, I don't really know where he's been, but I remember for many years there was a strong passion with Weatherford and the Giants. You can say the same thing about Justin Tuck and many others that are on social media who were former Giants and who now still just absolutely love the Giants, the team that they played for and the team that they won championships with. What's also different about this team, you might say, okay, 0-3, well, the Giants were 0-2 twice and they won the Super Bowl. The difference is those teams had some success before they did that. The 2007 team, in 2006, they went to the postseason. In 2005, Eli won 11 games in his first full season as a starter. So they had something. It wasn't just like, in 2007, after 3 years of a 4-12 record, they won the Super Bowl. They had some success, especially with Eli as their quarterback, for a few years. They went to the postseason a couple times, so there was some winning. Same thing with the 2011 team. Obviously, Eli had already won a Super Bowl before that 2011 season. And there were still many players who had won a Super Bowl. And even the 2008 team, they won. They were the number 1 team in the NFC. They had the best record in the NFC, the number 1 seed. So there were players on that team. The 2009 team, 2010 team, they won 10 games. So, like I said, those teams, even though they started out 0-2 and they won a championship, they had a track record of winning some games or making the playoffs a few times. Even if they didn't win playoff games, they still got there. This team has no track record of anything. They won 6 games last year and they almost made the playoffs, but still 6-10 is not an ideal record. It's not exactly a good season. So that's why I don't see it. Could it happen? Maybe. I don't think that they lack talent. I don't look at this team and say, yeah, talent-wise, they just don't match up with any of their opponents. I think that they have talent. I just don't think they know how to win football games. I don't think it's a real team. I don't think schematically they're really all in and all together. It's just a weird feeling, and I think most of you would probably agree. So that's that. Isaiah Wilson was the guy that they worked out today, former first-round pick that did not work out in Tennessee. It looks like Ben Bredeson is injured his hand, may be out for a little bit. Another injury to an offensive lineman for the Giants. That's another thing. It's like, you want to be realistic with the progress of the offensive line with the Giants, but at the same time, they're starting to get hit with some injuries left and right. It's tough to truly judge if you just continue to see injuries. Obviously, Nick Gates, they lost for the season. Shane Lemieux. Now you have Bredeson. I feel like I'm missing somebody else as well. Yeah, and retirements and training camp and all this stuff. So it's been, the Giants' offensive line has gotten hit a lot. They've gotten hit a lot over the past few months. Injuries and retirements. So that is really that. They signed Wes Martin off the Washington practice squad. I guess we'll see where that goes. So that's just kind of a quick update, especially after yesterday's video and the current state of the team. I think it's very important to update you guys and really talk about what's going on with this team, because this is a breaking point. I don't know if this team finishes 3-14, which I think is very likely at this point, and I really mean that. I just don't think that they're good. Like I said, I think that they have some talent, but I don't think they know how to win games. And I don't think their head coach obviously has no track record of winning games. The offensive coordinator position does not look good. There's really very few bright spots to point to and say, well, this guy did this in the past and they won a bunch of games, and I don't see any of that. So, we will have to see, but it's going to be tough. They have a tough schedule. This was an easy game for them against Atlanta at home, and they did not take care of business. And you watched Dallas on Monday night against Philadelphia. The Giants are nowhere near Dallas. You're telling me that they would stop Dallas? Do you think that they would go back and forth with Dallas in scoring points? I just don't have any confidence in them doing that. If Dallas put up 35 points and they were going out there and just scoring points, I don't trust the Giants offense to keep up with that, because I've never really seen it. I've never seen it from Daniel Jones of the Giants for the most part. Daniel Jones he's had a couple of games his rookie year where he threw 4 touchdown passes, 4 plus 5 touchdowns, whatever it was. But can I consistently see them scoring points and really competing against good teams, good quarterbacks? No, I don't see it. I don't see it at this point. So that's that. I also want to update you guys quickly. I may do a Locals website, if you guys have ever heard that, locals.com. Basically, it's kind of like Patreon in a way. So I may do that and maybe write an article a week, do a certain live stream a week to people who subscribe to the community. That's what they call it. But I'll definitely give you guys another update